Heat styling looks amazing, but you're probably wondering in the back of your mind, how much damage am I really doing? But here's the thing, if heat styling did that much damage, why does your hairstylist use it on all of their clients? There's a lot more to the story than mindlessly repeating heat does damage, like some kind of zombie or something. So today I'm gonna set the record straight, show you what's fact, what's a rumor, and show you exactly how to use heat on your hair without doing any damage. I've got a quick story for you. A lot of my clients come in once or twice a week for heat styling. And believe it or not, their hair is actually much healthier now than when they started with us. And the thing is, they're always shocked because they've been told for so long that heat damages hair. It actually kind of messes with them when they see it getting healthier. They start wondering, like, is there something special about the scalp massage that increases the blood flow to the scalp and that offsets the heat damage? But no, the truth is you can heat style and improve the health of your hair at the exact same time. All you have to do is follow a couple rules. And that is exactly what we're gonna cover today. I have 3 rules for heat styling to make sure you don't damage your hair so you don't have to feel guilty. The first rule is you need to have a healthy hair routine in place before you start heat styling. You can't just be using drugstore brands all willy-nilly without any strategy to it. The reason for that is if you don't have a healthy hair routine, your hair is gonna fall into disrepair anyway. It's almost like an old house that's not being maintained. You really need to get that in order first before you do any heat styling. If you're not sure where to start, if you don't have a routine yet, I have one right up here, just click the link. The punchline here is that if you're not giving your hair the basic nutrients that it needs to be healthy, it's gonna be in bad shape. Heat styling is gonna be the straw that breaks the camel's back. So please start with the hair routine, get that first. So assuming you have that routine all set up, the second rule of heat styling is that you always wait at least 3 days before using heat on your hair again. There's actually some real strategy to this. After heat styling your hair, you wanna make sure you can extend that same style for at least 3 days before you have to wash it and start over again, which is actually really convenient. Let me explain. Imagine if you styled your hair every day, Monday through Friday. That takes a ton of time, a ton of effort, and you're completely traumatizing your hair. You don't want to do that. What you really want to do is work smarter, not harder. You want to let the products do the work for you. So you style your hair on day 1 and use products to maintain that style for at least 3 days. So let's get into how you can extend your style for as long as possible. But first, if even just 3 days sounds impossible for you, you probably have one of 2 problems. Number 1, you're using the wrong shampoo, or number 2, you're using the wrong shampoo technique. So if you're struggling for that, you want to watch the linked video up here that will show you exactly how to wash your hair so it stays clean for days. The second thing is dry shampoo. This is the epitome of letting the products do the work for you and working smarter, not harder. This does 2 things. First, it extends your style, which saves you time, but it also saves you money because the less often and less frequently you have to do your hair, the less products you have to use. This is one of my absolute favorites. It's called Berlin by Pulp Riot. This is the best dry shampoo I have found. It is super light. It doesn't leave any residue. You will never know it's in your hair. You should really try this out. So at this point, you have your healthy hair routine and you know how to extend your style for 3 days so you're not constantly hitting your hair with heat. Let's talk about how to actually use heat. But we're not just gonna sling our irons around like crazy people. We're not Vikings. There's actually a ton of strategy that goes into this. First, there are 2 very different kinds of heat. Number 1, there's heat from a blow dryer, which actually isn't really that hot. Number 2, you have the heat of an iron, which is literally twice as hot for a blow dryer. This is where most of your damage comes from. There are 2 rules for blow dry heat. The first one is that you must use a blow dry product with built-in heat protection. This is not optional. These are great because not only do they protect your hair, they also make your blow dry come out so much better. You'll wonder why you weren't using it the whole time. This one is called Big Blowout and it's one of my favorites. The second blow dryer rule is you stop blow drying a section as soon as it starts to get warm. When the hair is wet, it will not get warm. It only gets warm when it's dry, so that's your signal to stop. The section is done. So as you're blow drying your hair and you think that the section is close to done, you want to feel it. If it's nice and warm all throughout, then it's done. If you keep going after it's warm, you're probably gonna damage your hair. The second type of heat is the heat from an iron. Like we said earlier, this is literally twice as hot as a blow dryer, so regular heat protectants are not strong enough for this. You need to have a heat protectant that's specially designed to protect from the heat of an iron. It's mandatory. Otherwise, your hair is going to get damaged. These heat protectants are actually heat activated. They form a barrier around your hair, which protects it, but it also adds hold and shine. The translation on that is that your hair looks better and your style lasts longer. Those are both really good things. And because it has extra hold, you don't have to leave the iron on your hair that long to get it to stay. That means even less heat on your hair, and it also means that you can style faster because you're quickly going from section to section without leaving the iron on there for a long time. Again, this goes back to the principle of working smarter and not harder. Not only are these mandatory to keep your hair healthy, but they actually make your life easier and make your hair look better. This one is called Hot Sets 22 by Redken, and it's one of my favorites. Another cool trick with irons is to take smaller sections that heat up evenly and quickly. I know that you're tempted to take big sections because you think you can get through your hair more quickly, but big sections have big problems. Number one, big sections do not heat up evenly. When you put a big section on an iron, the outside warms up really quickly and gets hot, but it takes a while for the inside to get hot. So basically what you end up doing is burning the outside, waiting for the inside to get warm, and that's not a good strategy. You don't want all that damage. The second problem with big sections is that the outside that got all that heat is gonna hold really well. The inside that didn't get as much heat is not going to hold as well. It ends up looking off because half the curl is holding, half the curl is falling out, and it's just not a good look. What you want to do is take smaller sections that will heat up fully in about 5 seconds. That way the heat is also never on your hair longer than 5 seconds. If you do it like that, you won't get damage, you'll get much more consistent, better looking curls, and it actually doesn't take more time to do small sections because you're only holding it for 5 seconds and then moving to the next one. Again, we're back to the principle of working smarter and not harder. Hair is one of the few areas in life where you don't need to work that hard, you just need to know what you're doing. And thankfully, now that you know what you're doing, you can have healthier hair in much less time and much less effort. If you learned anything today, I would really appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button. I have all the products listed in the description. If you have any questions, please leave a comment and I'll make sure to get back to you.